thank you again for inviting me into your home. I'm so excited to show you these makeup products. I know for myself, as well as many undead, that we have an extremely difficult time finding products that work with our particular skin. So I think these are going to be life-changing for you, or death-changing. So should we get started? Wonderful. So as I'm sure you know, any sort of good makeup or skin routine starts with the base. Now, I've already cleansed my hands, so do you mind if I just examine your skin a little bit closer? Thank you. So, as I'm sure you are aware that many undead, whether you are zombie, mummy, vampire, you can range with a wide variety of skin issues. For you, you're lucky. Vampires tend to have the least amount of issues, unlike zombies where it just wants to slide right off the bone. So you have to be extremely delicate with it and how you apply the makeup. Mummies too, also very difficult skin to work with, mostly because it can be very or extremely dry and really delicate and flaky, almost like very thin sheets of papyrus. I hate to sound generic like that, but it's true. Vampires, however, unlike what some things will have you believe, we don't regenerate skin quite how we used to. It's not as plump or full of life. What's actually happening is it's just making almost a panel to replace that cell. So it's not giving necessarily the same youthful glow back, and it does become a bit more rough and worn over time, as well as just being very cold to the touch. So we tend to have an extremely pale and deathly appearance. Now, that being said, this company is wonderful with the products that it supplies for creatures such as ourselves. And I was extremely relieved to realize that they even existed. It changed my whole world. So, seeing that you do seem to have a similar skin type to myself, you shouldn't need too much work, but I'll go ahead and just quickly cleanse your skin just in case there's any sort of excess dirt or debris on the exterior. So, this first product is just their basic cleanser, especially for the undead because we do have dryness issues. It does have a lot of base moisturizer just within here, so when you cleanse the skin, it doesn't give you that drying after effect, as I'm sure you remember from our living days. It also, all the products just have wonderful smells to them. Okay. So it doesn't take a whole lot to cleanse the face, mostly because it's extremely effective at removing topical and deep-rooted dirt. Vampires' pores kind of seal up after your first 50 years or so of being undead, so after a while it almost makes it easier. It just works as an extremely smooth, clean surface, so you don't have to worry about any of that dirt getting trapped in those pores because you don't have any. I know it smells so good, right? So, it doesn't look like you need too much cleaning. Do you mind if I ask how old you are? Really? Well, you would not know it. I don't know how you've kept your skin as good as it is, but that's amazing. No, honestly, truly, I've seen plenty of vampires your age, and some of them are just terrifying. It's like Nosferatu, but worse. Okay, so now that we've got our fresh, clean slate, I'm going to go in and just do a gentle mist over the face. Now, this helps just create a nice little plumpness or plump appearance to the skin. Meanwhile, it also applies another layer of moisture to the face. Are you ready? Let me just make sure. Okay. Nice. I think it's really refreshing. It already feels a little bit more plump, huh? Well, we're just getting started. So, now I'm going to move on to actually moisturizing the skin. Obviously, as you know, you're not actually going to absorb any of the moisture exactly. What it does is it helps create a bond between those kind of plates that you've replaced your former regenerative cells with. So it does bind to that, creating a more dewy effect. So you do appear to have not so dry skin, and we can also apply more layers to that a lot easier, and something that appears more natural, which I assume is what you're going for. Okay, great. So this is going to be the face serum. It also acts as a moisturizer. You only need a few drops of this. I usually only apply it right before I do the rest of my makeup, although you can use it as, a nighttime or daytime mask if you'd like. I don't really see the point in that, to be honest, just because you're not actually adding any moisture back into the skin. You're just, as I said, giving the appearance. So you want to do a not a small amount, but you're only looking for about half of a fill. And I just like to gently tap this into the skin. I think going straight from the hands onto the face honestly helps it apply better. If you'd like to use a cotton pad, you could, but I don't think that's quite necessary. Okay. Give that a minute to dry. I always give it, a small portion of time before I apply the rest of the makeup. So the fun thing about these products is the fact that due to our skin not being regenerative and not being able to hold a lasting quality makeup made for the living, these kind of more cement to the face. So they are made for long wear, whether you are zombie, mummy, vampire. It honestly really does make it a lot easier to be able to go out in public and not feel like everybody is staring at you, or being able to tell that you have layers and layers and layers of makeup on that you're trying to cover up your dead skin. So first off, now that we've got that on, let's go ahead and start with a little bit of foundation. Now, as I said before, these are long lasting, and I'm going to do a shade that is just a bit darker for you, just because we tend to have a very obviously pale skin. So I like to go just a few shades darker and then just blend it into the rest of the body. I also apply it to my hands. It makes more sense when you're out in public. Obviously you're not going out in the daylight, but people still do expect you to have that same kind of natural sunny glow, right? Yes. So I'm just gonna dab that in, and I'm just gonna be gently blotting this, only because, as I said before, I think it tends to stick a bit more to the plates in the skin and hold the rest of the makeup a bit better. Let me close your eyes just for a second. Did you want me to do the neck as well, or just do the face right now? Okay, we'll just do the face since we're just testing. So now that we've got that, let's go ahead and move on to the under eyes. Now this can always be a devastating spot for vampires because obviously we develop dark circles like nothing else. You know, it's zero blood flow, zero regeneration. It's just, what's already delicate skin becomes even more delicate. I once actually in the beginning accidentally put my finger right through somebody's orbit. Yeah, I mean, they were a mummy, so it was already super light, but I was so embarrassed. I know, not gonna be the case here. This was a long time ago. I learned my lesson, been using these products and displaying these for a while, but when I first started, oh my gosh, how embarrassing. Okay, so this next product is gonna go over the foundation. It's made to seal and blend with that seamlessly. It also works miracles for under eyes, if you can't tell. So this you're just going to paint right on, and then I'm just going to do a little bit of a stipple with my finger just to blend the edges, okay? Alright. And if you just want to look up for me a little bit. Perfect. Excellent. And I know it probably feels like I'm applying a lot, but I'm not. Feel free though, if that is something that you want to do, you can obviously apply as much as you want. You can also use this just as a foundation if you're really having issues, but honestly, I don't think you'll need to do that. I prefer just using this in those kind of very particular areas. Okay. Excellent. And as I said, I'm just gonna take my finger and just blot that in. Blot, 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 blot. Tap, 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 tap. Tap, 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 tap. Great. You're looking more normal already. Okay, so now that we've got just the face kind of done and given you back that kind of just natural neutral look, you've got the moisturizer and serum, and you've got the foundation and the concealer for those very problematic areas. So now we want to give you a little bit more of a color to the skin. So this product, it applies like a bullet of lipstick, but it is not lipstick. You could use it for that, but it's just meant for painting on to the cheeks or, you know, the bridge of the nose. I like to use it as a little bit of an eyelid coloring. Oftentimes, because our orbits can get extremely dark, I'll use the concealer all the way around, and then just on the top layer I will use this to add just that natural coloring. Now let's see, is that the right shade for you? So this one is called Blood Moon. This is one of my favorites. If you just want to close your lid for me. Thank you. And the other eye. Okay, and now the cheeks. And again, I'm going to go back with a brush this time and just blend those in, okay? Great. Blend, 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 blend. And these are, honestly, these are so feathery soft. We also carry these brushes if you want to purchase one of those. I honestly highly recommend it. I usually don't. Or I didn't used to at least recommend brushes because I thought that the same quality you would get in the store is what you could buy from us. Not true. They really upgraded with this last collection, so they're so soft, and it's like using a feather to apply your makeup. I don't know how they do it. I don't know what they use. It's amazing. I mean, I know it's synthetic fibers, but like, it just feels awesome. Okay, now the cheeks. Also, how and like the direction that you are blending this in will definitely help contour and also highlight certain parts of the face. So, especially when it comes to coloring for your particular structure of bones, I would probably focus more as almost a triangle, so it gives you almost like a blushing look. I think that would look really good with your particular face, which is what I'm currently doing. That's great. It looks wonderful. So now you are set with that kind of just natural, youthful, glowy look. It honestly just rejuvenates your entire appearance. So you don't have to worry about feeling so awkward, knowing like, oh, I feel like I'm dust in the wind. Okay. One thing that I wish somebody told me early on with my undead skin and applying makeup, nobody ever talks about eyelashes. Ever. And it drives me nuts because they don't curl like they used to. They just get completely wonky, go in every which direction. There's no structure to them anymore. I mean, granted, you don't lose any because they're basically cemented into the skin, but I recommend curling. So I always do this every single day. Every single day before I apply my makeup, I want to make sure that they are set, ready to go. If you have even a little spoolie or any sort of brush that you can use just to really help comb them out before you curl, big suggestion. I also I have this product too, which helps moisturize the eyelashes. It just gives them a little bit more of a glossy look, fills them out a little bit, and you don't have to worry about it just completely after you apply our mascara. You don't have to worry about it completely flaking off onto the rest of your skin, anything like that. It really does help do wonders. Do you want to try a little bit of that? Okay. Now this will come in a smaller tube, but this one is just for a sample, okay? Alright, now look up. Great. And this is honestly great to apply before you do your mascara. And now the lower lashes. And also, very important, before you curl. It's not 100% necessary, but it is incredibly helpful. Alright, and the lower lashes. Wonderful. They're looking better already. Okay. And now I'll go in and curl. Alright, now you can just go ahead and look straight forward for me. I'm just gonna hold it there for a minute. Just holding. Honestly, I find this actually really relaxing. I don't know why. I think just always, as a kid, as an adult, as the undead, I've always liked this. Beautiful. Okay, the other eye. Press. I think you're just gonna look gorgeous after this. How does your skin feel right now? I know you can't even tell it's on there. You think it's going to be really heavy with how long-lasting it is, but no. I don't. It's a miracle. Okay. Oh, yeah. It's looking good. Okay. I'm also going to give you just a tiny bit of eyeliner. This product, it cements on your face. It's like a glue. I don't know how it holds. I tried it once and I've never looked back. But it really just, it stays there all day, all night. You can literally wear it for days. It's not going to damage your skin at all. You don't need to wash it off at the beginning, middle, or end of the day. You just apply it and just keep reapplying again and again and again. It will not rub off. It will not wear. It's amazing. The only time you gotta take it off is when you want a new look. Okay. Excellent. Good. Perfect. And that's just really gonna kind of elongate your eye a little bit. I can show you a fun technique for applying it too. Excellent. Gentle. Perfect. I'm not going to touch your eyebrows today. We do have products for those, but your eyebrows look amazing. Did you dye with them like that? Oh, you are so lucky. So lucky. I have seen some vampires that were made in the 90s that just have those tiny little pencil eyebrows. They look so bad. Or they were just completely gone because they plucked them all out when they got turned. Yeah. Yikes. Not want to look back to that. Okay. So let's go ahead and I'm going to give you just a tiny bit of bronzer. Now, this I like to use as blush, sometimes too, depending on the season. In the summertime, I almost exclusively just use this. It just honestly blends really naturally, gives you that youthful glow, as we talked about before. But it doesn't smear, smudge. You can go in the water with it. It is super helpful when trying to appear just as, woken up, and like you woke up like this when you're kind of caught off guard. If you just need to whip something on, this is the stuff. Okay. You're really not supposed to blow on your brushes. I was like, no, I'm so sorry. But, honestly, it's not going to matter because we're both dead, so. I'm just going to give you a little on both sides. Great. Oh my gosh, I think you're going to love this. All right. Now, last but not least, mascara. The nice part about this mascara is that it comes in several different shades. It's kind of nice in case you want to change your appearance. Obviously, that's a bit harder to do with hair because when you die, that's the hair that you have forever. I really wish somebody mentioned that to me before I was turned, but that's not the case. But either way, you can apply this over the lashes. So in case you're wearing a wig or anything like that, you can obviously change your appearance that way, but I'm just doing the typical noir black. All right, go ahead and look up. Great. Good job. Good. And this side. You have great lashes. Just gonna do it a little bit on the bottom. Other side. Good. Okay. Now, this last bit is just a complete setting powder for the whole face. And I know what you're thinking. You just put mascara on. You don't want to put powder over that. You do. It kind of acts as the sealant. Pretty much all the layers that we just put on over that original serum moisturizer, this more or less acts as the drying agent for all of it. So once you got kind of the set colorings and, you know, just overall appearance that you want, this works all the way through that to activate that very base layer and more or less creates a complete sheet and solid unit of that makeup, which is why obviously we apply the mascara first. But this is completely translucent, doesn't matter what color or shade your skin is, it works for all types. Alright. Good. And you want to make sure that you get a good amount on there. Any excess you can brush off, but honestly it's really hard to get too much. And just close the lids. Thank you. You want to make sure that you get all areas and corners of the face. Good. And so with that, the only thing that you don't need to apply, you can, but you don't need to, is our lipsticks. Now, those you can apply over the original serum, moisturizer, foundation, all of that, and then set it with a powder. But of course, you do not need to do that. That's what makes our lipsticks really special, is that you can apply either under or over that product in case you want to change it throughout the night, wipe it off. Obviously you have to reapply after feeding a lot of times, so it's important for us that we make the mouth a focal point of importance when it comes to the products that we are selling and making. But that being said, those are the products that I know you wanted to see in particular. I think they look great. Did you have any questions for me or anything like that? Okay, well, I think you need to go take a peep at yourself because you will be amazed at the glow.